The agenda. Where's my light? Dunk. I am making my resume, and for any and all interested in being a part of the comic series live action TV show, and to be edited together, hey Deb, to live action videos, you get to see my resume. You got good timing. And I'm doing up the script for the comic series today too. So check this out. I was just telling you, I own a polar bear. Want to see his picture? So yeah, I had the honor and privilege of going through my boxes last night. And not only did I find my family, my actual family. These are the people who raised me. Not the fucking lunatics that I'm always screaming at because they're fucking lunatics. This is Victor Bossy. The Victory Bull. They were French. Grace, and then Blanche Grace. His wife, and Grandma Grace. White Grace. What a set of families. World War II hero. Fixed the planes in the Royal Canadian Air Force. They didn't let him fly. He was colorblind. Otherwise, I guess he'd have taken out his own peoples. And I was taken from my mom at birth, and they raised me. Then at some point, I was tossed back to the lunatics and said, "Hey, here's your real family. Try to like them." Like this out on behalf of Tristan Peterson, a polar bear has been adopted. There is no date on this, but they bought me a polar bear apparently. That's hilarious. Oh yeah, and then there's little me, a baby. See how I was when I was 3? Well, apparently I was climbing on things that were about the same height as the second-story house. And dangling. With nothing but a clear drop down. And no... Well, I can't say there's no parental supervision. They came out to see what I was up to, and then they took pictures as I was doing all this stuff. Like, that's the second story of a house. This is a fairly high, straight drop down. And this was me at the age of 3, just wandering around climbing on stuff. Because I was always locked out of the house. Because of the head injury. When I was 1, they didn't know this. I didn't figure it out until recently. I had post-concussion syndrome. So, I was constantly from the age of, like, after 1, puking and insomnia and all the stuff you gotta watch for when you hit your head. So, they kept me locked outside and hosed me off every time I was puking. Okay, what are you? This is important. Oh yeah, wait. So they sent me to Tuscany. This is where I actually want to go live. I don't like this country, if you haven't noticed. When I was in high school, they paid to send me on a trip to Italy. And not only did they pay to send me on a trip to Italy, we still have the original, and I do mean the original, this would be a cool film prop, plane tickets. Which I thought was pretty freaking cool. I want to go back there. It was nice. There's no thefts, there's no stealing, there's no crime. Wanna know why? Because if you steal in Italy, they still cut your hand off. They will mutilate you and amputate it. And therefore, nobody steals anything, ever. And if you want to know how long I've been at the superhero thing, you ready for this one? Well, it's kind of all I've ever known. I've been doing Super Dad since I was Superboy there. Since I gotta make my resume, and all the, well, maybe not the polar bear and the Tuscany stuff, but now enter my resume. 98. I was taught how to fly a plane. Charter flight, takeoff, land. I can fly a Cessna. Has experienced the thrill of flight. Has learned the principles of flight, navigation, meteorology, and the rules and regulations of aviation. What's that mean if two planes are flying at each other, like in Pearl Harbor, and they're like, I don't know, you go right or left? You're supposed to go left. Everybody turns left at the same time, and then there's keeps blipping at me. We think you're a bot. The bots keep blipping at me thinking I'm a bot because I'm talking about myself. I'll let you know what this says. Don't underestimate Tristan Peterson based off his size. Tipping the scale at 102 pounds, the 17-year-old is just days away from attempting to enter the Guinness Book of World Records in the most unlikely category for someone his dimension, the bench press, needing to make the record, successfully press 2.64 times my body weight or more. I was going for 2.65 because Scott Mendelson, the strongest man in the world at the time, benching 800 and something. By his body weight, weighing 200 pounds, he was 2.63 or something. So I was going for just a smidget higher. And there's 320 on the racks there in the picture, if you can see it. Need to bench press 2.64 times his body weight in one unassisted effort. Yeah, there's no spotter either. Grade 12 student at need to lift 270 pounds to enter into the Guinness Book of World Records. Considering his personal best is 280, the attempt should be attainable one. And it says I'm not going into it with a cocky demeanor. I was doing negatives with 320, weighing 102 pounds, standing 5'5" at 17. I used to have a big chest. Certificate of Achievement. This was my orange belt ceremony when I was in karate before I swapped over to Wing Chun Kung Fu. Significantly before I swapped over to Wing Chun Kung Fu. 95, I was 9. And then here, I have my 2 gymnastics awards. White and red. Don't ask me what color means what, other than they're cool Assassin's Creed tie-in colors. I was in Scouts. Got kicked out of Scouts for eating a brownie. Log Jam, I was in Beavers. Won something at a science fair. I won first prize at something at one of my schools. And these are my swimming badges. Apparently I'm missing, I don't know if I'm missing 1 or 2. If this is 1 and 2. It might be 1, 2, and then it goes up to 7. I know I stopped 1 step shy at lifeguard training. And then I also got a whole bunch of other stuff that I gotta put on my resume, because I'm applying to all the, I'm applying to the cannabis shop, and without my CannaServe that costs $70, kind of like SmartServe that I have to sell alcohol, they don't let you sell CannaServe or cannabis without the thing. However, at this point, I am so overqualified for everything that I do, I'd really just like to make a resume and volunteer to sweep the damn floor, so at the end of the day, somebody will give me a fucking joint, so I'm not constantly like I am all the time. So yeah, and then volunteering at the soup kitchens, the donation shelters, the churches. I don't feel right about accessing the services, because I need to access the services. I feel better going in as an ordained reverend and certified nutritionist and cooking in the soup kitchens, providing for the poor and the homeless. So that way, at the end of the day, when I'm carrying home 100 pounds of goddamn food several times a week, I don't feel so guilty about it. And then I want to pop it in at the shelter, too, because apparently I can get free dog food for Lunar, in exchange for a quick walk up and help clean the cat litter trays and give them food, water. I used to do it when I was younger. I get around. So yeah, I'm stringing together my script and the actual comic series to pop out, and then that's going to act for more when Anastasia's here and we're actually doing our thing, to act out the live action series. And then as I make the live action series thumbnail on my phones, as I screenshot what everything looks like as I scroll, it actually looks like a little comic series, and then everything's getting edited together as a family. Movies is probably several sagas. This is why I went to film school in the first place, so I could make professional homemade film movies for me and my family. Even though I didn't have kids until much after. I went to college 5 years after. And now I'm going to smoke my tea. And you can literally drink the water. Because I don't have anything psychoactive to smoke. God, Deborah, old people are annoying as hell. I almost had her institutionalized last night. She went off the fucking rocker so goddamn bad. And I know from a psychological standpoint that you can be so triggered and so traumatized that your subconscious will blip back in time to a point before you, like, even learned how to speak. So I get then when something like I'm cooking and the toast burns and sets off the fucking fire alarm, so you can be startled, but like it's to the point